Hello everybody. Today I will discuss the first chapter of economics part of standard 10. Chapter is development. First, what is the meaning of development? How to define development? Development means improvement in social and economic conditions of the people in the economy. When the people are having better educational facilities, health facilities, potable drinking water facilities, housing facilities, safety and security, civic amenities like sewage and sanitation facilities, then it leads to social improvement of the people. In the society or in the community, people need minimum requirements to maintain comfortable or qualitative life. If they are getting proper public facilities like education, health, sanitation, potable drinking water facilities, definitely they maintain qualitative life in the society. It improves their social life. So similarly, when the people availing better economic infrastructural facilities like transportation, communication, irrigation and power. You see, when the farmers getting proper irrigation facilities, then they can able more than one crop during a year. Throughout the year, they can get water. They do not depend upon rainfall. So that agricultural production is not affected due to malformation of monsoons. Similarly, when the farmers getting power facilities, then they can use some advanced technology to develop the crops. They use pump sets to irrigate the lands and also use threshers to separate the paddy and straw. Similarly, due to better infrastructural facilities like transportation, communication, and power or electricity, then all these facilities always push the investors and producers to invest more funds, always stimulate the investors to invest more funds to increase the level of production. Similarly, due to proper banking facilities, farmers and producers they can get loan facility at the time of need, or also they can save their profits in the banks, and also it is safe and secure one. And due to insurance facilities also, when they are facing any losses due to natural calamities, at that time also they can get monetary compensation according to the degree of damage from the insurance companies. Due to better marketing facilities, also both the farmers and producers they can sell their crops in nearby markets. So all these things leads to economic improvement of the people. So overall, development means social and economic improvement of the people. One side, people qualitative life in the society due to some facilities like education, health, potable drinking water facilities and housing facilities and other things already I have discussed. Similarly, due to proper infrastructural facilities, both the farmers and producers or investors, they would be ready to invest more funds to increase the level of production. So it improves the economical condition of the people. Then, what is the meaning of economic development? Economic development is a process due to which there is increasing per capita income of the people. So due to this, people maintain better standard of living. People maintain qualitative life in the society due to proper social infrastructural facilities. Already I have discussed. Social infrastructure included education, health, housing, sanitation, drinking water facilities, and also due to economic infrastructure like transportation, communication, power, irrigation. Similarly, individuals, farmers, and investors getting effective banking and insurance facilities. Technological and scientific innovation transform the economy into advanced economy. And overall, social and economic welfare of the people improved due to economic growth. So economic development is a process due to which people maintain better standard of living due to higher per capita income. People maintain qualitative life in the society due to proper infrastructural facilities. Always, proper economic infrastructural facilities always stimulating and boosting the investors and producers to invest more funds to increase the level of production. So due to this also GDP of the country increases. GDP means the market value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic of the country during an accounting year. Always we consider final goods and services. Final goods and services means those goods are fit for sale. Those goods are available in the market for sale. So the market value of all final goods and services produced in the domestic territory of the country during an accounting year. So always economic infrastructure stimulating the producers or investors and farmers to invest more funds to increase the level of production. Due to this, GDP of the country increases. People getting more employment opportunities. Okay. Other side, technological and scientific innovation. Due to adoption of better technology in the economy, more quantity of quality goods produced in less cost. And similarly, due to proper scientific innovation, new advanced technology introduced in three sectors like primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. It means in new technology adopted by the farmers, by the producers, and also it is introduced in the services sector. So that in all the three sectors also production must be improved. So economic development means it is overall social and economic welfare of the people improved due to economic growth. Welfare means to uplift or enhance the weaker sections of the society. When the weaker sections of the society maintain better standard of living, then at that time we must detected that economic development is taking place in the economy. Next one, economic growth. Economic growth means increasing GDP. So already I have discussed the meaning of GDP. GDP of the country increases, then overall production of goods and services in the economy increases. When production increases, then definitely more employment opportunities generated in the economy. Our human resource utilized properly, income of the people increases, people make more demand on goods and services, then it is boosting for the investors and producers to invest more funds. So it is economic growth. So economic growth means increasing GDP. It leads to creation of more employment opportunities. Due to more employment opportunities, human resource of our country utilized properly, then people earn more money, they make more demand on goods and services. When demand on goods and services increases, then it is boosting the investors to invest more funds. Again, the level of production increases. Again, employment opportunity is generated in the economy. So it is moving like a virtuous cycle. Okay, it is a good sign for the economy. Okay, have you clearly understood or not? So next one, aspects of development. Two aspects are there. One is economic development, another one is social development. Already I have discussed. Comprises things in GDP. It means overall production of goods and services increases in the economy. When production of goods and services increases, then people getting employment opportunities, then per capita income of the people increases. Then also it is stimulating the investors to invest more funds. So it is one of the aspect of development. Another one, social development. Social development comprises better educational opportunities, better health facilities, drinking water facilities, sanitation facilities available by the people, and people maintain qualitative life in the society. Okay, so already I told to you, in the society people need minimum requirements to maintain comfortable life. They need better educational facilities, they need better health facilities, they need potable drinking water facilities, they need sanitation facilities to prevent themselves from different type of diseases. Okay, they need housing facilities. Okay, so all these things actually improve the living condition of the people in the society. Then next one, I will discuss factors other than the income are important aspect of our lives. Only income is not the sole aspect to influence our lives. So many other factors are there. Safety and security for the family members, working atmosphere, relation with the employer and colleagues, whether you are getting job security or not, whether climatic condition is suitable one or not, whether proper educational and health facilities available or not, or also you are whether your children getting proper library facilities or not, whether the children are getting proper sports facilities or not. So many factors affect the human life. Only income is not the sole factor to favorably affect the life of the people. So many other factors are there which are considered as ingredients for human lives. So one example I have given, a person is working in Bhubaneswar and getting salary rupees 50,000, and here job security is available, family is getting safety and security, better educational facilities available, better health facilities available. Also, the person getting congenial and conducive atmosphere in work site. He has good relation with colleagues. He has good relation with the employer. Okay. Now he is in good condition. Suddenly, he get a job in Mumbai and salary is rupees 1 lakh. It is 50,000 more than the current job. In current job, he is getting 50,000. Now he is getting another job and salary is rupees 1 lakh. So immediately he resigned the job in BBSR because he is getting more salary. Okay, and his salary is increased by rupees 50,000. So he did not think about other factors affecting the human life. He only considered the income. He resigned the job in BBSR and joined the job in Mumbai for getting high salary. In new job, working atmosphere is not good one. Very stressful atmosphere is there. Very burdensome atmosphere is there. Okay. He has no good relation with colleagues. He has no good relation with the employer. And there is no guarantee that his family are in safe and secure condition. Anything can be happened in Mumbai. So cost of living is very high one. Climatic condition is very eccentric one for the family members. So in this example, we have detected that yes, one side income is more, but in other side actually give more burden to him. Always in office, he has taken more stress. Okay, atmosphere is not healthy one. Colleagues are very individualistic one. Workload is more, and other factors also. Other factors affecting the life of the people. Okay, also other factors also are not suitable one. So in new job, except income, he could not get other facilities and he takes more stress for this. So except income, other factors affect human lives. So income is not the sole factor. We should have considered other factors before joining the job. We should not have considered income. Yes, income is one of the most important factor, but at the same time you must think about other factors, whether other facilities are available one or not. Okay, so similarly next one I will developmental goals. Different people having different developmental goals because they have been going through different situations. Life situations of different people are different one. You know that different people standard of living, their income level is different one. They are facing different problems. So developmental goal is not same. The different people having different developmental goals. I have given some example. You ask the small farmers, what is their developmental goal? Simply here I have written, their developmental goal is to get monetary assistance from the government to purchase seeds, fertilizers, pump sets, etc. so that he can develop the crops without any hassles, without any difficulties. Definitely, small farmers facing financial scarcity. So due to this timely, they could not invest funds to develop the crops. So their main developmental goal is to get monetary assistance from the government so that timely they can purchase some inputs which are suitable for the development of crops, so that without any difficulties, without any hassles, they can develop the crops. Similarly, you ask the landless laborers what is their developmental goals. One example I have given: landless laborers, they are having no land. Always they are searching jobs. They depend upon others. So their developmental goal is to get more job opportunities by the government, so that they can earn money to fulfill their minimum family needs. So every time they are searching jobs, but their developmental goal is to get more job opportunities, and these job opportunities provided by the government, so that they can earn more money to fulfill their minimum family needs. Similarly, you ask tribal people, their developmental goal is provision of more work opportunities by the government, so that they do not depend on forest to manage their living. So their main developmental goal is to get more job opportunities, because they are residing in hilly areas. Lands are not flat one. Also, the area is not conducive to develop the agricultural crops. So their main developmental goal is to get more work opportunities by the government, so that they do not depend upon forest. You know that tribal people always they go to the forest and collect some materials and selling these materials in the local market at very cheaper price. But nowadays, so many prohibition measure is there. Okay, no one can enter into the forest. No one can encroach the forest. So each and every time, their developmental goal is provision of more work opportunities by the government, so that they do not depend on forest to manage their living. Similarly, a boy belongs to a rich family. His developmental goal is to pursue higher education in abroad for better service, because his family has no financial problem. So his main developmental goal is to pursue higher education in abroad for better service. Similarly, a boy belongs to a poor family. His developmental goal is to get admission in a reputed government institution for higher education, so that he can get education freely. So these are the different developmental goals and aspirations. Definitely, we all are having some aspirations. Clear? So if you ask me aspiration or what is your goal, my aspiration or goal is to get principal job in future in a reputed institute. Okay, so different people having different developmental goals, because their life situations are different one. They are having different problems, their standard of living is different one, their income level is different one. So developmental goals of different people are not same. Next one, different persons can have different developmental goals. Clarify this statement. So already I have discussed, different persons can have different developmental goals. It is because the life situations of persons are different. Life situations are different. The income of different people are different one. The standard of living of the people are different one. Problem facing by the people are different one. So different persons have been going through different situations, and they seek things which are most important for them, or which can fulfill their aspirations or desires. So same thing already I have discussed. The developmental goal of a boy belongs to rich family is to pursue higher education in abroad in future. But the developmental goal of a boy belongs to poor family would be to get admission in a reputed government institution so that he get quality education freely. I told you, situation is different one. A boy belongs to rich family, and this boy has no financial problem, and already he has decided to pursue higher education in abroad because his family members can afford for his education in future. But a boy belongs to a poor family. His main constraint is money. In his family, monetary scarcity is there, and his family members are struggling to fulfill their minimum needs. So that always his main developmental goal is to get admission in a reputed government institution for higher education so that he can get quality higher education freely. Next one, development for one may not be development for the other. Explain this statement. Already I have discussed development means social and economic improvement of the people. It is true that what may be development for some may turn out to be destruction for the others. Suppose in a particular area, government has decided to develop multinational companies. So due to development of multinational companies, the area is transformed from agricultural area to industrial area. In this area, people getting employment opportunities. Production would be more. It is beneficial for some people. Okay? Some people getting benefits due to the development of multinational companies in the particular area. Better infrastructural facilities also developed in this area, because where multinational companies, they invest money, definitely first one, they strengthen infrastructural sector, educational facilities, health facilities for the people, more employment opportunities for the local people. In the area, production would be more, proper marketing facilities also available. So some people actually support it. Okay, but in other side, due to development of multinational companies, some people lose their cultivable lands, lose their native place. It directly affects their standard of living. Majority displaced families, depend upon agricultural sector to maintain their livelihood condition. When they lose their cultivable land and lose their native place, automatically they would be in distressed condition. They would be in upset condition because it distort their economic and social conditions. So what may be development for one may not be development for the other. Next one, conflicting developmental goals of different people. We know that development for one may not be development for other. It may even be destructive for the other. For example, you see, developmental goals of different people are conflicting one. In a particular area, government has allowed to develop an industry. Some people support it because facilities would be available in the area and also job opportunities available for the local people. But in other side, some people, because around 100 families lost their house lands and cultivable lands. It distorted their standard of living and dampened their economic and social life. So in this case, conflict is arised. one side, some people they support that is industries should be developed in our area, because due to this more employment opportunities would be available, infrastructural facilities would be strengthened, proper marketing facilities would be available, safety and security must be available for the people. So for these reasons actually they support for the develop an industry. But in other side, if the industry is developed in this area, then around 100 families must be displaced. They must lose their cultivable lands, they'll lose their native place, and out of 100 families, majority families mainly depend upon agricultural sector. Okay, so definitely it distort their standard of living. So in this case conflict is arised, some people support it and some people oppose it. So always developmental goals are conflicting one. Similarly, one another example just I want to give to you. Suppose in a particular area, some people they approach to the government for a minor irrigation project, for a dam. If the dam would be constructed, then basically farmers and industrialists they can get water throughout the year. But in other side, if the dam would be constructed, then some people would be displaced from the area, they lose their cultivable lands, they lose their native place. So some people oppose it. No, dams should not be constructed in the area because some people would be adversely affected. Due to the construction of the dam, it affect the standard of living of some poor families. So some people support it and some people oppose it. So it is related to the conflicting developmental goals. Next one, national development. National development is the ability of the nation to improve the social and economic welfare of the people. It is the ability of the nation, it is the ability of the government to improve the social and economic welfare of the people. Related to the social improvement, increasing literacy rate through better educational facilities, especially in the rural areas. Currently, literacy rate is around 81%. If you consider the rural area, literacy rate is around 60%. So literacy rates should be increased in the rural area through better educational facilities, primary schools, more number of high schools should be in the rural areas, so that the children they cannot trek down they cannot cover more distance. Better health care for the citizens. Nowadays, COVID-19, so many people, not only in India, all over the world, so many people suffering a lot. So only better health care facilities only protect the life of the people. So better healthcare facilities should be available, and it must be free one. Because if you go to the private hospitals, they charge more fees, and the poor and debilitated sections they cannot afford for it. So government hospitals, more and more number of government hospitals should be developed. Proper infrastructural facilities should be available in the hospitals. People cannot go to the outside for different type of test. They can conduct the different type of test in hospitals freely. Similarly, the government must think about the bedding facilities. Adequate bedding facilities should be available so that ailment people, they cannot be treated on the hospital floors. So provision of food security to uplift the weaker sections of the society, enhance the standard of living of the people, those who are in below poverty line, through effective poverty alleviation programs, and creating more employment opportunities for the migrant people in their respective states. Nowadays, migrant workers already, they returned back to their native places, to their respective states, and it is the responsibility of the particular state to arrange the employment opportunities for the people, so that again they cannot go to other states for jobs. Okay, so national development is the ability of the nation, it is the ability of the government to improve the social and economic welfare of the people. The government must think about the social improvement and economic improvement of the people, so that the government must be providing facilities to the people so that they can maintain comfortable life in the society, and also they can earn money to fulfill their basic needs. Similarly, measures of economic development in the form of increasing GDP of the country, strengthen the economic infrastructure like transportation, communication, power, irrigation, etc., for motivating the investors to invest more funds in production activities. Everything related to the national development. So, national development is the ability of the nation to improve the social and economic welfare of the people. Okay, so in previous part already I have discussed so many things. Next one, average income or per capita income. It is calculated by dividing the total income of the country with its population. Total income of the country divided by total population. Okay, so it is not detect the individual income of the people. Always we of the standard of living of the people through average income or through per capita income. Okay, but so many drawbacks are there, so many limitations are there related to the average income, because it is an aggregate concept. Just we collect the total income of the people, there is no importance of individual income. Total income divided by total population, so it is aggregate concept. Second drawback, those people are ignorant about statistics, they could not understand average. In mathematics we know how to calculate average. It is sum of the observations by total number of observations. So here average income, when we calculate average income, then we must need two things: sum of the income of all the people, and also we must know about the total population of the country. The sum of the income of the people divided by total population. So many people, those people are ignorant about statistics, they could not understand average. Average is a misleading concept because only experts of statistics can understand the importance of average. Okay, only experts of statistics, they know what is the importance of average, because in statistics, statistics always aggregate concept and always neglect the individual concept. So only expert of statistics can understand the importance of average. Average income neglect the distribution of income. Okay, it means income of few people is much more than the average income, and income of so many people is much less than the average income. Okay, I will discuss this one because average income height disparity. I will discuss one example. I will give one example. Also, it is affected by size of population. Sometimes our national income is more, but due to large population, then per capita income will be low, because how to calculate by total population. But here you remember some things. Total income of a country is the income of all the residents of the country. So you must know about the residents. Residents, two concepts just you remember. One is the person is residing in the country for more than 1 year, and his economic interest, like saving of money, savings, spending and accumulation of money, it is economic interest, and his economic interest lies in the country. Again, resident means an individual or an institution, refers to an individual or an institution, not only individuals, who ordinarily resides in the country for more than 1 year and having economic interest like earning, spending and accumulation lies in that country. For example, a Chinese residing in India for more than 1 year and his economic interest like earning, spending and accumulation lies in India, not in China. So he is the normal resident of the country, but he is the citizen of China, because this Chinese person residing in the country for more than 1 year. So first condition fulfilled. Then second one, his economic interest like earning, spending and accumulation of money lies in India, not in China. So for this reason he belongs to the normal resident of India, but actually he is the citizen of China. So total income of the country is the income of all the residents only, not non-residents. Those people residing in the foreign countries for more than 1 year and their economic interest, like they want to earn, they want to spend and they want to accumulate in other countries, not in India. So they are the citizens of India, but their economic interest, they are earning, they are spending and also they are accumulating money in other countries. So for us they are the non-resident Indians. So total income of the country is the income of all the residents. Actually when we calculate national income, it consider only the income of the residents. Non-residents income is not included in national income. So total income of the country is the income of all the residents, whether they earned from domestic territory or from abroad. And also one thing remember, residents means individuals or institutions, because our Indian companies, they are branches also operating in abroad. Okay, the branch of SBI is operating in different parts of the world. Our insurance companies, their branches also operating in different parts of the world. So their profit is coming to our country, it is included in national income, because our Indian companies, their branches operating in other countries means basically, okay, they are the residents, they are the residents of our country. Another example you see, those people residing near the border areas, but they are frequently cross the border. They are residing in our country but working in other countries, because they are residing in near the border. So they are also residents of our country, because it means they are residing in our country but they are doing work in other countries, but their economic interest lies in India. They want to spend, they want to accumulate in India. I think that you have clearly understood about the normal resident of the country. So total income of the country is the income of all the residents only. Non-residents income is not included. So residents, whether they earn from domestic territory or from abroad. So here average income is useful for comparison but hide disparities. Here we see one example I have given. I have considered two countries, country A and country B. Both the countries having same average income. Both the countries, I have taken 5 citizens. Monthly income of the citizens in 2019. I have considered 5 citizens monthly income of the two countries. you see their monthly incomes given, and both the countries average income is 10,000. How to calculate average income? Now, sum of the income of the citizens, sum of the monthly income of the citizens divided by 5, because here we have considered because here I have considered 5 citizens. Okay, but from the above table we have detected that in both the countries average income is same, but in country A more equitable distribution. Okay, more equitable distribution is there than country B. You see, in country A, it means all the citizens, their income is just nearer to the average income. But in country B, you see some disparity is there. Average income is 10,000, but one person monthly income is 45,000, and others very less than average income. So more equitable distribution is there in country A, but more inequality in distribution is there in country B. So for this reason, actually average income hide the disparities. Here you see average income of the country does not show whether income among the people is equally distributed or not. Simply it is aggregate concept. In heavy populated country like India, income of the few people is much more than the average income, and majority income of the people is less than the average income. Few people, okay, their income is much more than the average income, but majority people, their income is much less than the average income. You see, like country B. Clear? So disparity is there, but it is not detected by the average income. Clear? So basis of measuring economic development, two bases are there for measuring economic development. One is the average or per capita income. Okay, those countries having more per capita income or more average income per annum, these countries are more developed. Okay, in the next video I will discuss World Bank report and United Nations Development Program report, UNDP report. So average income is one of the most important criteria. You know that economic development is a process due to which people maintain better standard of living due to more per capita income. So those countries having high per capita income, these countries are more developed. Those countries, in those countries, people having less per capita income, these countries are less developed. And another one, national income and public facilities. Public facilities, you know, education, health, sanitation, potable drinking water facilities, social infrastructure, economic, transportation, communication, power, irrigation, banking, insurance, public facilities, you know. National income, it is the money value of all final goods and services produced by the residents only. Okay, non-residents contribution is not included in national income. It is the money value of final goods and services produced by the residents within country and from abroad during an accounting year. Is the most important one. Public facilities, actually those facilities provided by the government to fulfill the basic needs of the people: law and order, safety, security, education, health, potable drinking water facilities, transportation, communication, irrigation. Clear? Public facilities. We need public facilities to fulfill our basic needs. So national income, it is the money value of all final goods and services, means those goods and services are fit for sale in the market. Some semi-finished goods are there. Semi-finished goods are not fit for sale. Those goods are fit for sale, and those goods basically purchased by the customers in the market. Produced by the residents. Residents, I told to you, it is individuals and farms, companies, or other institutions. Okay. So our companies, our farms, our Indian banks, our Indian insurance companies also, their branches are operating in abroad. So their profit also, their profit is included in our national income because they are our residents. I told you resident means, again, the people residing in the country for more than 1 year. Those people residing in the country for more than 1 year and their economic interest, they want to earn in India, they want to spend in India, they want to accumulate in India. Their economic interest lies in India. Okay, they are residing in India for more than 1 year. They are the citizens of other countries, but their economic interest lies in India. So basically, they belongs to our normal residents. Okay, it is the money value of all final goods and services produced by the residents within country and from abroad during an accounting year. So thank you. In the next class, I will discuss the second part of this chapter. Thank you.